There's number 3.
The meeting of the mayor and board of aldermen of the city of Holly Springs is now called to order. All right, and first on the agenda, we have prayer. And I ask Mr. Jim Smith, will you lead us in prayer?
Heavenly Father, thank you. Thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for this beautiful city. Thank you for providing people that volunteer to sit on the council. Thank you for the mayor. Your benefits are more than we can fathom. Please look over this meeting tonight. Keep it civil and address the issues that occur to all of us. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Alderman Fountain. Present. Alderman Jones, absent. Alderman Shipp. Present. Alderman Teal, absent. Alderman Merriweather. Present. Mayor, you have 2 board members present, 1 telephonically.
Thank you so much. Now I'll ask for a moment of silence for peace. And then also ask for prayers for the family of the Honorable U.S. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee. Prayers of the family of Josephine Dahl Malone Moore. Prayers for the family of Sonny Massey. Prayers for the family of Asa Lee Nunley. Prayers for the family of Reverend Robert Dooley, who lost his grandmother this week. And just pray for everyone, all the great families. We can have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. And also,
Mayor.
oh, yes. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And next, I want to extend congratulations to the 2024 Female Artist of the Year for Mississippi, Ms. Beverly Davis, who is known throughout our area, and I know that she is specifically known for her blues music, so we want to extend congratulations to her. Also, please note that Alderman Fountain is attending telephonically as noticed on the agenda. All right. And next, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
Now will be adopted.
Is there a second? Second. The move by Alderman Shipp, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor? Aye. Alderman Fountain? Aye. All right. Motion passes. 2 ayes, 1 aye telephonically, and 2 absent in Jones and Teal. All right, next on the agenda, we have bids. And Mr. Drove, will you come forward, please? I believe he has a recommendation for tonight. Good evening. Please
Yes.
state your name for the record.
Yes, I'm David Drope with IMS Engineers, and I'm here to uh, present two recommendations for two projects that bid recently on July 16th. And I'll go over each one. I'll start with and I think you have copies of it as well. But the HSUD, or the Holly Springs Utility Department MDOT water line relocation project. We had two contractors that bid on that project, and it was Eubank Construction Company and Hickson Mooney Construction Company. This is to put in a water line on State Road 178. It's an MDOT project, and the expense will be reimbursed by MDOT on this project. But we recommend the second one listed there on your list, the Hickson Mooney Construction. Their bid was $235,434. And our cost estimate for that project was $242,925. So it was a little less than our cost estimate and less than the second bidder on the project. So I don't know, do you need to move to make a motion to accept it or not at this point, or go over the second one?
Motion to accept the recommendation by IMS to lowest and best bid. What's that project number?
It is, the RFP number is HSWR 2401.
Was there a motion to accept the recommendation, accept and authorize the recommendation from for IMS? Yes,
Pardon me? Yes, Hickson Mooney Construction LLC.
Then I move to accept the bids provided by IMS to accept Hickson Mooney for the MDOT project HSWR 240.
Mr. Lewis,
That's the lowest and best bid.
is there a second? Second. It's a move by Alderman Ship, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion passes, 2 ayes, 1 aye telephonically, Mr. Johnson, and 2 absent in Jones and Teal. All right, Mrs. Rowe, carry on to second.
Okay, the second project also bid on the same time, but we only had one contractor to bid on that, but it was close to the cost estimate. The bid came in at, but this is for HSUD power pole relocation, also on State Road 178. It's an MDOT project. The bid was for $593,148.19. And our cost estimate was $595,750. Now, this project is not reimbursed by MDOT. It'd be expense for the city. And on this also, I'd like to have the city make a motion to accept it.
So motion to accept and authorize the recommendation from IMS.
I'll move.
All right, it's been moved by Alderman Ship. Is there a second? A second. Second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor?
If he could state the whole motion for the record, for the purpose of the record. Who's doing that work?
He's asking you the name of the contract.
Contractor, Killen's contract,
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Killen Contractors Incorporated is the name.
old relocation.
I move to accept the bid provided by IMS Engineers to Operating Killen Contractors. Pole work. Pole relocation project. Now, $592,148.19.
And the lowest is this.
It's the only,
It's the only.
it's the only.
Will the lowest is this.
Well, it's
Lowest is this.
it's the lowest SSD.
The only bid.
Lowest best and only.
Lowest bid only.
Lowest best and only.
It seemed reasonable.
Something wants it.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
She said aye.
Okay. Motion passes, 3 ayes, with 2 ayes, 1 eye telephonically in Fountain, and 2 absent in Jones and Teal. All right, thank you so much, Mr.
And
Burrow.
we will get the contracts together and sent to you. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, next, motion to authorize transfer of $243.39, $243,339.96 from the general ACH fund to the general operating fund. This is the modernization use tax.
Move to authorize transfer of $243,339.96 from the general ACH fund to the general operating fund, modernization use tax.
Second.
It's the move by Alderman Schiff, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes, 2 ayes, 1 eye telephonically in Fountain, 2 absent in Jones and Teal. Item number 2, motion to authorize transfer of $2,137 from the general ACH fund to the general operating fund, July 2024, municipal court in-court settlement.
Move to authorize transfer of $2,137 from the general ACH fund to the general operating fund, July 2024 municipal court in court settlement.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Schiff, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes, 2 ayes, 1 eye telephonically, and two
Yes, ma'am.
absent in Jones and Teal.
No, ma'am, I can see your picture of it.
Item number 3, motion to authorize payment of $2,444.50 to the Department of Finance Administration, July 2024 municipal court settlement.
I move to authorize payment of $2,444.50 to the Department of Finance and Administration, July 2024 municipal courts.
Second. It's been moved by Alderman Schiff, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor? Alderman Fountain?
She said aye. She was waiting on the new copy of the updated agenda,
Okay.
revised.
Motion passes, 2 ayes, 1 eye telephonically in Fountain, and 2 absent in Jones and Teal. Item number 4, motion to authorize mayor and board of aldermen to attend the CMO elective evening class September 12th, 2024 in Oxford, Mississippi, with a registration fee of $25 each plus per diem.
I move to authorize the mayor and board of aldermen to attend the CMO evening classes on September 12th, 2024, in Oxford, Mississippi, with a registration fee of $25 each plus per diem.
Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Schiff, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor? Motion passes, 2 ayes, 1 eye telephonically in Fountain, 2 absent in Jones and Teal. Item number 5, motion to authorize Alderman Andre Jones to attend the CMO electric evening class on October 3rd, 2024 in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, with a registration fee of $25 plus per diem.
Move to authorize Alderman Andre Jones to attend the CMO Executive Evening Class on October 3rd, 2024, in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. A registration fee of $25 plus per.
Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Smith, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes, 2 ayes, 1 eye telephonically, and 2 absent in Jones and Teal. All right, item number 6, motion to authorize Deputy Clerk Lakeisha Street to attend the 2024 Fall Certification Session on September 11th through the 13th, 2024 in Oxford, Mississippi. Registration fee of $300 plus per diem.
I'll make that motion, City Clerk, Madam City Clerk.
Alderman Townsend.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a second?
Yes, I make the motion to authorize Deputy Clerk Lakeisha Street to attend the 2024 Fall Certification Session on September the 11th through 13th in Oxford, Mississippi. Registration fee of $300 plus per diem.
All right, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Batson, second by Alderman Shipp. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes, 2 ayes, 1 eye telephonically, 2 absent in Jones and Teal. Next, thank you all. Next, we have Ms. Pam Lewis, and she has a request for some training. Ms. Lewis, do you have your? This is again some required training for Ms. Lewis, and she's asking to go to the MACE Educational Conference August 14th through the 16th, Biloxi Visitor Center. And this is required. I think they did go through as far as some planning and zoning, but also some code enforcement. And requesting the registration fee. 175. Oh, thank you so much. Registration fee of $175 plus hotel and per diem. You do your certification license. Is there a motion to authorize Ms. Pam Lewis to attend training at the MAC Educational Conference, Biloxi Visitor Center in Biloxi, Mississippi, August 14th through the 16th, with a registration fee of $175 plus hotel and per diem?
I move.
All right. Is there a second?
A second.
It's a moved by Alderman Shipp, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. 2 ayes, 1 eye telephonically, and 2 absent in Jones and Teal. All right. Thank you. All right, next, motion to authorize City Clerk Jerica S. Jones and Deputy Clerk Wanda Scott to attend the 2024 Fall Municipal Clerk Conference, September 25th through the 27th, 2024, in Starkville, Mississippi. Registration fee of $200 plus hotel and per diem.
Mayor, I motion to authorize City Clerk Jerica Jones and Deputy Clerk Wanda Scott to attend the 2024 Fall Municipal Clerk Conference on September 25th, 27th, 2024 in Starkville, Mississippi. Starkville, Mississippi, registration fee of $200 plus hotel and per diem.
Second.
It's a move by Alderman Merriweather, second by Alderman Shipp. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes, 2 ayes, 1 eye telephonically, and 2 absent in Jones and Teal. All right, next, Motion to authorize the necessary street closures and assistance of the fire and police, department for Bethlehem Church to host a faith-based addiction recovery program August 17th, 2024 at 5 p.m. on the square.
I move to authorize the necessary street closures and assistance of the fire and police department for Bethlehem Church to host faith-based addiction recovery program on August 17th, 2024 at 5 p.m. on the square.
Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Schiff, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. 2 ayes, 1 aye telephonically, 2 absent in Jones and Teal. All right, next we have item number 10, motion to authorize retaining the expert legal services of Blackman and Blackman LLC for the protection of the Holly Springs Utility Department. And you all had asked me as far as getting something from them in writing that will clarify as to what their fees will be, and I'll pass that around. Yes, I'll give it. Okay. Madam City Clerk, can you take a picture of this and send it out? She's going to send that to Alderman Townsend, and we can look at that. This request, as you know, has been out there for a while based on some of the things that have happened at the Public Service Commission, as well as some of the other litigation that is out there in relation to the Holly Springs Utility Department. One of the requests was to get something memorialized in writing as to what the fees would be. Blackman and Blackman, Google them for those in the public and see their extensive reputation and also their experience, most importantly, in dealing with utility issues. I know that it was presented that it might be a while, but we've already seen that the public service commissioners have already retained consultants to deal with this matter. So I'll give Alderman Townsend an opportunity to look at it, and I hold it. All right, next we have public comments. And each person has 3 minutes. And so when you step up, please state your name for the record. We have first Mr. Jim Smith. Good evening. Mr. Smith.
Good evening, Mayor. Jim Smith. Right before I got here, I got my electric bill today, and it was due the 15th of July. Interesting thing, it says the current period covers 32 days at the bottom. The top says 26. Since we have Mr. Jones in the audience tonight, maybe he can answer some of these questions. Why am I getting an electric bill again, a month late? Demand used, 15.8. Quantity used, 2154. I understand that one. I understand previous reading, present reading. What's demand? What's demand used? And why are the dates wrong? again, when I add up the dates billed in the calendar year, it equals, I think it was 379 days. Well, I haven't been in school in a long time, but I think there's either 365 days or 366 days in a year, one of the two. It's an Olympic year, so there's 366 this year. But why can't we get this right if it's wrong? Why can't we get it right? Why can't we get simple explanations as to what some of these columns mean? Last or a couple times I was here, I asked if Mr. Jones can give an update and what his initial reactions of HSUD were. Alderman Shipp, you said it's up to Mr. Jones, which kind of is backwards to me. You guys are the employer and he's the employee.
Getting there 3 days.
Well, you know, he's been here longer than 3 days now. I asked whether it was going to be a month, whether it's going to be 3 months, 6 months, a year, 9 months. And your response was it's up to him. So maybe we can get some input from Mr. Jones on what's going on with the bills and to what he thinks the overall condition of the HSUD is. Because we've got to live here and we've got to pay the bills. Thank you very much. I was under my time.
Next, we have Ms. Gretchen Crane. Please come forward and state your name for the record. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Gretchen Crane.
Spell it.
G-R-E, sorry, my voice gets raspy. Gretchel. Last name is Crane, Crane. In the essence of time, I'll go fast. As y'all know, I'm from here. Still love my town. I do reside in Memphis now. On May 19th, which is a Sunday morning, I received 2 traffic citations. So I'm going to skip over a whole lot of details. So fast forward, I attempted to call to get the amounts for the tickets because I wanted to pay them. I didn't want to have to come all the way down here and wanted to skip court, was not contesting the tickets, just wanted to pay them. First thing that I encountered was that the number on the tickets, the phone number is incorrect. So I had to Google city government for Holly Springs and just call a random person to get the number in order to call to get the amount for my ticket. And my concern there is that if there are other people who come into town and they receive citations, are they having to do the same thing in order to try to figure out how to take care of their obligations? That's one concern. Then the next, I went online because there is when I called, the young lady who answered gave me the site to go online to pay my ticket. I attempted numerous times, and every time I kept getting a message that said, your session is invalid, try again later. So I attempted that whole day because I wanted to get this done. And then I called, and the young lady who answered again, she said, well, I'm looking at the site, it looks fine. At that point, I called Ari and I said, Patrick, if I send you the money on Cash App, can you take the money up there and pay it? He said, no, I think you have to come yourself in person. That next week, we had a holiday, which was Juneteenth. I'm going fast. We had a holiday, it was Juneteenth. Patrick took me to the police station or wherever you go to pay the ticket. The young lady who was in there, she said, oh yeah, I remember you called. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, well, I said, I couldn't get it. She said, well, the clerk is not here today. I said, but court date is tomorrow, because I had to wait days in order to be able to come back to take care of it. So it was Juneteenth. The clerk was not in. She said, give it to me. I handed her my tickets. She entered the information and pulled up everything, entered my information, all of that. And she said, we just got, now mind you, I was given the cost for one of my tickets that was given to me by phone was $373. The second ticket was $427.50. She said, we just got a new list of prices for tickets. She said, this is the new list. So she took my citations, entered my information. I paid. Here are my receipts. Sometime during the last 3 or 4 weeks, I received these in the mail. Now I'm thinking I'm getting receipts for paying something Holly Springs sends you for paying. So I didn't open them. Like, I wasn't concerned about hurrying up and opening them. I put them on my stack of mail, and then at some point I started opening my mail. These are bills for the tickets that I paid, saying that I didn't pay the whole ticket. Who sends you bills after you've paid the tickets? So I called, and the clerk answered this. Well, she didn't answer. I had to leave a message on a Friday. Now, mind you, this gives me a date that says you must pay this, and it's almost $200. $25 for one, $170-something for the other.
Your 3 minutes are up, but if you'll leave your information with Ms. Jones, and then I'll change it to that for you.
Okay, please, because what I'm not understanding is why there is a balance on the ticket. Like, how do you have a balance on the ticket? When I called, the clerk said, I told her, I said, the lady gave me the prices on the ticket. She
And
said,
if you like, you can take a picture of it and get my telephone number from either Ms. Crane or Mr. Ellery Crane, so they can send it to me so I can have the actual information.
okay, because I'll leave this with him in case he needs to make copies or something for you. I don't know. But she said, I asked her why there was a balance. She said, well, I'm the clerk, and I'm the one who sets the price for the tickets. And that's the only explanation I got. What do you need from me?
Oh, no.
You can go ahead and have, that, they can do it, and then tell them to send me your number.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Ellery.
So give it to El Reed and tell him.
Take pictures of it.
Okay.
Ms. Cardona.
Okay,
And take pictures of it, they have a number,
okay,
and have them to send it to.
okay,
And then send me your numbers as well, because I don't have your number.
okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have Ms. Minnie LaSure.
Good evening.
Good evening, please state your name for the record.
My name is Menace Samuel LaSure. When I come up here, we had a shooting in the neighborhood, Shallow Lane Drive, a couple weeks ago, and it was a scary situation. We would like to have a street light put down up above my house, please, if it's possible, and more patrol it if we can, because it is dangerous out there, and small children running around out there, and also dogs. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you, Ms. LaSure. Ms. Gloria Williams. Ms. Williams, please state your name for the record, and you have 3 minutes.
Gloria Williams. I'm just up here to piggyback on what Ms. LaSure said. We did have a shooting in our area about 2 weeks ago, and these 3 young men had automatic weapons. I woke up that morning, my yard was full with casings. There are young men that's walking around our neighborhoods with guns hanging off their hips. We got cars racing up and down our streets. We want to see if we can get some speed bumps down there, and if it's possible for us to get another camera down there. This is stuff you hear about from a city, not from a little town like this. I moved from a big city coming down here with my children thinking I was giving them a safer place to live, and it's not so. Holly Springs has turned into a big city with all the shootings, with all the drive-bys, with all the people riding up and down the street, racing up and down the streets. We really need speed bumps in our area. We have a lot of children that are down on our end. And we got kids in the street doing donuts, riding up and down the street playing with these little ball guns, shooting at each other. So we need more patrolling in our area. We're taxpayers and we need to feel safe coming out of our house. Because when that shooting happened at 5 o'clock that morning, just so happened I didn't have to work. I would have been coming out my house at that time to get in my vehicle, and all that shooting was in my driveway. So we need to have something a little bit more patrolling in our area. Thank you.
All right, number 5, this is Mr. Ellery Crane.
My name is Ellery Crane, and I'm speaking on behalf of Shadow Lane Drive as well. Our neighborhood was a pretty decent neighborhood. And I think our police officers have dealt with a few individuals that are close within our range there that are creating turmoil in our neighborhood. And they're going out and they're shooting at other people. And these people are coming back and they're retaliating in our neighborhood and creating a danger for all of our residents and citizens in that area, and especially our young children. And we don't know whether this is going to happen in the middle of the day, whether it's going to happen in the middle of the night, what time of day. But our young children are running and playing, and it's time that we do something. Now, there is one particular house in the neighborhood where these young men dwell, and I think our officers are familiar with it. I think that it's time that we put some cameras right here in this area so that we can monitor and see what's going on there. Because see, it's more going on than just these young people carrying the guns and shooting at each other. There's something that's behind all of this. And I think that it's time that we take action and put some cameras on this, and let's make something happen. And if we can remove these young people from the neighborhood, if we have to remove all of the tenants from this residence out of the neighborhood, then I think that's what it's going to take to clean up our neighborhood. And I believe that if with your support, this can happen. So thank you so much.
And that concludes public comment. And I did hear about the shooting in the area. I want to thank the residents for letting me know, because that's how I found out about it. And was very troubled, and some of them walked with me and showed me as to where it occurred, how close it was to a window, where all of the cases were. It is an area that we talked about as far as Skycop that we've looked at, that's on our list. I do have on the list tonight as far as item number 14 for Skycop, and I did get some updated quotes from that. And when we get to that number, I want us to talk about that and to look at going ahead and making that decision to move those Skycops in, not just for that area. We looked at approximately 8 with the assistance quite some time ago, the police department, as to where we have some issues. That street actually was one, similar to one of those streets in another neighborhood. So that one was actually on the list, as well as some of the entryways and exitways in Hollis Springs, say 78 West, and then there was one out even where the roundabout, that area was suggested, as well as some other areas, the stadium area, Highway 4, and then also we have a list of about 8 that we're looking at doing. So hopefully we'll be able to move forward with that project. But I thank you all for being courageous enough to come out and share tonight with the community as to what you all are dealing with. We did see as well, even one of the speed bumps has been removed from Van Dorman. I think they put that back out today. We did have someone to come in. We have put some in the area because you all do have a very vocal community with the Greenbrier and Chesterman area. And so we will look, if you all could recommend as far as the area, as to where other speed bumps may be beneficial to add in the safety, please let me know. And we'll get our team, we'll see if we still have some, and we'll get our team to put some out. But I thank you all for bringing this forward. And as you mentioned, this was not the first incident. So we'll ask the police department to please beef up the patrols. And as they mentioned, if they know where the issues are, we know where some of the issues are. So we can just ride that area to make them feel a bit safer. So, and I'm glad for the young lady who said that she would have been coming out from work at 5, that she wasn't, and that she's safe, Ms. Fruit. So, but we'll look into that, and hopefully you know, before the end of the month, hopefully we'll be able to make some improvements. That's what I hope to. So next we have general city bills and claims. Item number 12.
I move that we pay the city,
Is there a second? Yes, remove authorship. Is there a second to pay the city general bills and claims?
Yes, we are.
A second. It's been moved, Alderman Kip, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
Aye.
Motion passes, 2 ayes, 1 aye telephonically, and 2 absent in Jones and Teal. Item number 13, motion to pay the city utility bills and claims. Is there a motion?
that motion, I move to pay the city to be.
Is there a second? Is there a second? All right, motion dies for lack of second. All right, next, we have, the SkyCot. And, we have an option to do either purchasing or leasing. And so we did take a look to see what would be most beneficial. I'll let you all take a look at that. It's got it spelled out. If we do them all at the same time, the cost for the bucket truck will be a one-time deal. And so they did provide several quotes for us on that. And back here, so that you can see as far as that it all pretty much is the same for the different bucket trucks. Or, I mean, the number of cameras.
In terms of the monitoring of those properties, it's cheaper.
Madam City Clerk,
Yes,
Vaughn?
ma'am.
Yeah.
I couldn't, is she asking for a vote?
No, ma'am, she was asking about the, Sky Cops.
Okay.
I was allowing everybody to see a quote we received regarding the Sky Cops. We talked about them, it's been a while, and I wanted to look at, the means of, paying for them and taking care of them. And so, Alderman Merriweather inquired as to the ones we have now regarding the maintenance of them and if they'll work. And that's the other thing, when they come to put them up, they will check all of that, to see if there's some that are not, and it will cost the same. But if we bring them out separately, it's gonna cost us, the amount for a truck. But, Chief Bowen, Alderman Merriweather called you forward and wanted to inquire, as to, the campus.
I know that we perhaps have some that are not working. So,
Yes,
what is this, one to one?
They kind of look at all the shifts. And it has on there as to what it will cost for each one.
yes, at this time, it's not an IT issue. We have to call the company that installed the SkyCop cameras to come out and do maintenance on them, put them back online, because we have several that's offline at this time. And we just need to call the company out, and there's a price that comes with it.
It's a stack out, is that? They just looked at it. Email, emailed them a while back and updated, say that it's pretty much all the time. we're looking at right now. One of the things that will help as far as the people who are doing the speeding and the donuts, and sometimes old people who come from other areas, that will allow us to see if somebody's headed back out to say Benton County or to head back out to Memphis or DeSoto County, that if we have sky cops in the area, that may help us sometimes. They have done a great job as far as detectives being able to see what's happening.
That's one question, because I see some donut tracks, even in the city, but right by the sky cop. So are they affected?
They are for certain cases. One of the other things that I'm investigating right now is the ticket cameras. I'm not sure what you call them at this point in time. I've been at it. See, at one point in time, they were not considered to be legal in Mississippi, but we know they have good methods. Say how I know, but I know.
And I know you mentioned about the donuts or whatever. That's the particular one that because we was investigating to look at to see if we can find tag number on the person who did. That's the particular one that's offline also.
And so Mr. Jefferson, I did ask him to take a look at that. We can come back to this. He did take a look at it to make sure we take a look at this as well, and then we'll come back to the sky dots and see. I think it was a total of 8 streets. There were 8 areas still on the list, so we'll be looking at 8. They do have where we can do a lease, which would mean that it would be more updated equipment. So I believe that's what Mr. Jefferson recommended. I'll let him take a look. Item number 15, I just want you all to start thinking, as you all know, thank you, Chief Owen, that I was interested in utilizing the ARPA funds from the grant that I was able to secure for us when I first came into office. One, to look at transforming the old Sam School into the higher level Senatorial Library Community Center. As the clock is ticking on us, I'll find other means to do that. But in the meantime, I want you all to be thinking and looking, that we'll recess the meeting next time we come back to look at the uses for the ARPA funds. Of course, we have the streets and we have other means, so you all start looking at that. When we get that next meeting, preferably before, if you have an idea, reach out to me and let me know so that we can look at that and see how we can utilize those funds so we don't risk losing those. So that's just kind of FYI. Put your thinking cap on, get back in touch with me as soon as possible with ideas and suggestions, and I'll do the same.
Even if that makes sense, in terms of the utility department, the monies that we need to take care of the city's budget in terms of the allocation of the utility department. And then, as you mentioned, the streets that need to be paved in the city. I appreciate the line, guess it's not a lot.
So, and that's something definitely to think about, but I will say this, the major issue that you mentioned, the utility department billing, and hopefully we get that on track. I know that the contractors did start, but I don't think they've been able to be there every day. But that's one of the main things, as even we heard Mr. Schmidt talk about, as far as still having the challenges with those. So, but if y'all will look at those, we'll talk some more in detail about those things. Chief Crane, Fire Department training. Good evening.
Good evening. How y'all? Thank you.
Go ahead with your report.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon again. First item on that training list we have is Emergency Service Administrative Professional Association. This is where myself and my secretary, administrative assistants will be conducting training that pertains to all of fire services job, as well as in the law enforcement side. The police side is also, the program is set aside for them as well. We've been trying to get into this program for about 2 years now, but wasn't able to do the budget in the last year. So we do have a bit left to be able to do this with, and I'm seeking permission to attend this along with the administrative assistant.
See, the membership dues was $50. And what about is there a registration fee or?
Yes, it's on the list right there as you have before you. The conference registration, which of course is late because it always comes in September, but due to the deadline, that's what it is. It actually brings it up to $225 as you see on that late registration. So we're requesting that permission for the registration and hotel and per diem to cover that. The membership fee is not necessary until after the fact you've actually been a member of the association. So we're trying to get there to get in there.
Plus hotel and per diem.
Yes, ma'am, correct.
Is there a motion? I can ask you to plan to attend the Emergency Services Administrative Professional Association 2024 Annual Conference, September 4th through the 6th, Natchez, Mississippi, at the Grand Hotel, to include hotel and per diem registration fee of $225. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to allow Chief Crane and Ms. Lumpkins to attend the Emergency Services Administrative Professional Association 2024 Annual Conference, September 4th to the Grand Hotel, with a registration fee of $225 of hotel and per diem.
It's a move by Alderman Fairweather, second by Alderman Schiff. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes, 2 ayes, 1 aye telephonically, and 2 absent, Mayor Jones and Teal. All right.
All right, thank you. Item number 17, which is in the claims right now. If you look at that, this is some of the materials that we're going to be needing to finish up, getting the building ready for station number 2. And they do not take CDPO because it's Tennessee. So therefore, I'm asking for a request to get this paid for by check. We do have the money left in our budget to take care of it. So if you're looking, see, we got a total of 5 at that price, which turns out to be at the bottom of the amount. So, which is actually a pretty good deal.
You said it's the same item that's at the same time?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we were gonna put it in the next claims, but if he wanted to go ahead and get it paid.
Yeah, well, 'cause they're holding it, yeah.
That's what okay, so
Yeah.
it's just not, okay. All right, do y'all have any questions to keep claim regarding this request for surplus property that is attached to the back of the other items you received? Hotel to home furniture and mattresses, and the total amount is $1,196. That's okay.
Correct.
Is there a motion to authorize the purchase of surplus property from home to hotel, in the amount of $1,196 for fire station number 2? $1,196, 0 cents, 1196.
Correct.
Okay, Madam Mayor, I'll make the motion for the fire department to take surplus of the property for the amount of $1,196 for the new location of the fire department.
Was the movement of Alderman Merriweather, second by Alderman Schiff. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes, 2 ayes, 1 aye telephonically, and 2 absent in Teal and Johnson. All right, next, fire department, the Red Cross.
All right, item number 18 is Red Cross is requesting to house the emergency response unit at our emergency operations center, which is that of the new station number 2, due to the fact that the county now is renovating and moving away from the old county jail. So this is one of the places where it will be secured, and they do come by Station 1 before they move to be able to acquire the keys to be able to respond with. This unit houses emergency equipment for after storms and what have you. They're looking to seek to house this unit at our facility due to the security of it, and we utilized this as well when we had the ice storm this past year to utilize the beds and bedding and stuff. So we'll have actual closer access to it, as well as them being able to come out and pick it up when the need falls into place. But they're requesting to house it at our facility on a secure lock and gate. The information, I don't think did you ever get a chance to email it out? I can forward this to you guys by email so you can look it over. So, but it's simply requesting that the unit in a pickup truck is all it is, that has bedding and other supplies from Red Cross in it to be able to quickly respond from. So they just look, yes, ma'am. They looking to house it at facility number 2.
They're asking us to execute, and so we're requesting the authority.
I got another copy of stuff, so if you need to look that over, it's for us legal wise, yes.
They kind of have, with this one, is they have, trailers, that they park on, like mobile unit.
Right.
So it's something that actually will be a benefit to the city, a win-win to have them, closer by, if we already have a relationship with them.
Upon y'all approval of this, this will be the document they will be filling out and returning back to them to let them know that it is okay to house there, and to house it there at that location, Highway 4 East.
If the board wants the attorney to look at it, they'll just pass it,
That's fine.
just so the attorney can review it. Whatever y'all's discretion will be.
Is there a motion?
I move to authorize Red Cross to facility. What's the address?
720 Highway 4 East.
720 Highway 4.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
We move Alderman Ship, second by Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes, 2 ayes, 1 eye telephonically, and 2 absent in Jones and Gio. Next, item number 19 is dealing with the water department and wastewater.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hold on. Mr. Jones, you'll come forward. Item number 19, items for the water division and wastewater. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. I have 2 items for the water department.
That's that.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I got one.
Go ahead.
There are two quotes here. Mr. Terry Sims presented these to me. This is for work on the valves for the Sims Primary School, the valves out there. They went out there and they couldn't find a valve, so they're going to have to install a cutoff valve. And so there's two quotes here, one for $7,000 and one for $6,025. Mr. Sims requests that the quote be approved for the $7,000, and I agree with Mr. Sims' assessment.
Is there a motion to approve the quote from Interstate Tax Services Incorporated as the lowest of this quote?
Not the lowest, but probably the
Well,
best.
the best.
The best.
Uh, This is the best quote because Mr. Sims is confident that this company can do the work.
I'll say whatever, if the board does decide to go with the recommendation, it just needs to be clear in the motion that if it's accepting this bid as the lowest and best, even though it's not the lowest, the board just needs to give the consideration as to why it's the lowest and the best. So if it has confidence in one company over the other, that just needs to be clear for the record.
I have confidence in Mr. Sims because I talked to him about it because I asked him the difference between the two quotes, and he told me that he thinks that I don't have my glasses on. I'm sorry. Yeah, Interstate Tapping would be able to do a better job, and he has experience working with them before. And he told me he had better confidence in them than he did in the lesser quote.
So I'll make the motion to accept the bid for the wastewater work from Interstate Tapping Service Incorporated as the best bid. And entering the lowest, what is the general manager Wayne Jones and his conversation with Terry Simpson.
No. Yes, there. You got it. We say it, no.
In the amount of $7,000.
We have to have that lowest and best in there, is what I explained first, and he was explaining, because of the rules and regulations, so you gotta put it in there. What he was explaining to you is that, say those terms, but still say what you said, that the best is being determined by the fact that it's recommended by the general manager.
You gotta. I said the general manager and his conversation.
Say lowest and best.
She said best.
It needs to be lowest and best. It doesn't have to be the lowest. The statute in Cape Law says it just has to be the lowest and best, so they actually are together. So
So
even
I
though,
have to say both words, yes. But it's not the lowest.
yes,
But according to the general manager, what I said. As the lowest bid, as the best bid, although it's not the lowest technically, it is because Mr. General Manager, his conversation with Terry Sims, sees it as the best and lowest. I got it for gonna stay, and I know it's not, I know they put 56,000 steps.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Merriweather, second by Alderman Ship. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 2 ayes, 1 aye telephonically, and 2 absent. And Jones, and here. All right, Ms. Jones, you have another item as well?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. This is from, Mr. Jefferson.
Okay, PR. So I know that we are getting these bids. However, I am still concerned with the financial state of the utilities department. And I would like more clarity. I know that we have to get the work done and move forward. But even with the PR that we received today, we not being able to pay TVA all of their money. But here we have bids in front of us, and we just did one for $500 and some $1,000.
For MDOT.
For MDOT, that we will not be reimbursed for. So I'm just in the back of my mind, what's wrong? You know, receiving that email today about the financial status of the utility department. I just want to make sure that we have to get these pumps repaired and all of that. But I want to be cognizant of our financial status. How are we taking care, and what are we doing?
I am cognizant of the financial status. Today was the result of, how can I put this? The Holly Springs Utility Department is in the position it is in because of what has been done in the past. And it was inevitable that something was going to eventually break here. And when you put in the fact that we had an ice storm, we had COVID, you add that in, you add the fact in that we have inexperienced people in positions. I'm being honest. Okay.
Just hang
Well,
on.
maybe we should put this in executive session.
I would just caution.
Before we go into executive
Okay.
session, I do want to state for clarity for those listening at home who are ratepayers and taxpayers, that the situation that we are in this moment is due to the billing situation. The funds are there, but because billing is late, as Mr. Smith talked about, that his bill is overdue, that is what has caused it. So when the bills are late, our ladies cannot go in and draft the funds that we would have that would be able to take care of this. So I think that as we paint the picture, that it's important that we tell it all. We are working on that. Of course, we had some things in place. This is the first time that we've had this experience in our 3 years as the city of Holly Springs. However, we are working on that. We did meet today and talk about some ways to put some things back in place as far as our hands on deck so that everybody can be reading to help it. But the main issue that we have, billing affects everything, and that's what I tell everybody when they come in. That's what I express to Mr. Jones and everybody. We've got to read that. If the billing doesn't work, then it affects everything. It affects the ability for automatic drafts. It affects the ability for those who are at home. We have a young lady, I haven't seen her lately, who comes in quite a bit, who talks about receiving hers later. So we're just about caught up, but there was some unexpected things that put us back behind. So I don't want us to go into close and people thinking that we are about to run out. And we have to put that out there so that we're honest about it. We look today to see as to approximately as to what we might have coming in. So as of next week, then everything should be fine based on what we looked at today. So I think that it's important for us to share that the billing was the issue, not the finances, not the money, not that the city of Holly Springs Utility Department's growth. But until we get the billing corrected, that affects how much we receive and how much we recover. So as I explained once, if certain businesses don't get invoices, then they can't pay it because they have to have a record. Alderman Merriweather?
What's up? And I do apologize. I didn't want to stifle the dialogue. I just wanted to advise the caution because there is litigation ongoing involving the utility department. So I just wanted to advise caution as to what was being said in open meeting.
I understand, but after it was said, I felt that it was imperative that I made sure that it was clear as to what was causing it.
These issues, as far as the billing are concerned, and the issues at the utility department in general, are complicated. They are technical, and if they could have been solved easily by now, they would have been solved easily. They are complicated and they are technical, and it is going to take a considerable amount of effort and time to solve the problem. I am working on them, and I have solutions, but I don't want to say too much because they are complicated and technical, and I am well aware of cognizant of the fact as far as where we are. The first one for the water department, this is for the Sims Primary School. That's for the schools. And as far as this one is concerned, this is for the water system in the city. We're operating at 75%, and Mr. Jefferson had bought this a few times, and yeah, this is a steep quote. I mean, the 61,000 for is the largest one, and the other one is about 57,000. That's the lesser one. Donald and Smith is the one that's being recommended. But
And I simply, because of the volume of the courts, knowing that we need our pump repair, our water in our city and all that, I simply ask a question because of the financial situation that we were made aware of in the email today, in terms of the inability to pay TVA all of their money. So I just simply ask the question because we have these quotes in front of us. Are we cognizant of our financial situation? That these funds will be there to come out and we can get our bills paid? That's all I did was ask a question.
yes. Okay.
Is there a motion? And Ms. Jones, did you make a recommendation as to which one on the marital well?
Donald Smith.
Smith?
Yeah, Donald Smith. It's the lowest quote.
Lowest and best.
Lowest and best, I'm sorry. Yes, lowest and best.
So what's that total? 49?
Sorry, my mistake.
How much?
I gotta add that up.
Okay, I'll make the motion for, to accept the bid for Donald Smith and Company Incorporated for our well number 3 pump repair in the amount of $58,055 as the least and best bid. Okay, lowest and best bid.
Thank you. Second.
It's a roll for all the other second by all, yes, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 2 ayes, 1 aye telephonically in Townsend, 2 absent, and Jones and Smith. All right. Ms. Jones, do you have anything else?
Yeah, I have three more things for the utility department. The first one has to do with giving CSA permission to allow Melissa Bloodstow, who is the TVA auditor, to come to give her permission. She would have the same access to the HSUD records at CSA that Miss Annie Mason has, and this will allow CSA to share that information with Mrs. Bloodstow. She would have the same access as Mrs. Mason, and this allows the TVA auditor, Mrs. Bloodstow, to come in and look at the records, and it helps me because I can look at what she's doing and I can learn from what she's doing. And I recommend this. That's the first one. The second thing I recommend is that we have, the money that was set aside by by the Mississippi State Legislature, that the that the Tennessee Legislature has now. It's $435,000, and it was for cutting right of way. And I have the form here. I read the requirements. I filled out the form, and I got the wrong number on the form because I couldn't change it to 444,000, but it's $435,000 that's left in there. And I want to present this application to the state of Tennessee so that we can get that money for the right of way, because it's going to cost us, in my estimation, $8 to $12 million to cut our right of way the correct way. Now, we've been cutting right of way as far as from the beginning with CMM, Woods Hogging, they're out there, they're cutting right of way and they're cutting hot spots, and we've seen the improvements from the right of way being cut. But we got so much right of way that hasn't been cut for years, and beyond this administration and beyond the present, the former administration, probably the former one for that. But I've been told by right of way folks that I've talked to that this is the worst that they have ever seen. So, I mean, as far as the growth in the trees, it looks like the power lines are growing out of the trees in some places. But the idea, as far as I'm concerned, is that we have these funds sitting out there, and they were set aside by the legislature, and we need to show in good faith that we are cutting this right away. So that's why I'm going to go for those funds. Now, the third thing I'm going to ask you for is I'm going to ask you to set aside $500,000 from the AARP funds to cut the right of way. And I'm asking you that because ARPA funds, ARPA funds, that's what I mean, ARPA funds, because we have to demonstrate, not that we haven't, but in order to ask or look for someone to put up the money that it's going to cost to do our right of way, we have to show in good faith that we are very serious about cutting this right of way. And that percentage, from my research, LPCs, generally, they have 20% of their budget that goes to cutting the right of way. And cutting the right of way is the largest amount for any LPC as far as what's in their budget is concerned, is cutting the right of way. So that's why I'm asking for this, because I think we only have a matter of months before it gets cold again. And I don't want to be in that position. And I can say with some confidence, not exactly, I don't have any amounts, but I've been told that there are folks who are willing to help us as far as the right-of-way is concerned in helping Holly Springs Utility Department. So that's why I'm recommending this. And those are the three things.
So,
So I don't have a third person for the $500,000. I'm just asking for that. It's five of those.
I think those are three separate items.
Yeah, there's three separate items.
Now, this, the CSA auditor, is this the CDA auditor?
No, it's a CSA form. CSA has all of the HSUD information. They have it housed on their server. And this is a form that allows, this is a form that allows CSA to share this information. That technically is HSUD information. So it's a form to cover it. That's what it is. Pardon me?
Who will they be sharing it with? You said the form would allow
Oh,
them to share the information. What
with
is the purpose of it?
It allows them to share the information with Melissa Bledsoe, who is the TVA auditor that they have asked to come in and look at the books of HSUD so that they can get the information that they need, that they say that they need to reconcile reports.
You mentioned someone named Melissa Bledsoe.
Yes.
Do you have a copy of her resume and information?
I have a copy of her contact information. I don't have a copy of her resume. Not with me, no.
And so this is someone who was recommended by TBA.
Yes, ma'am.
So, definitely, I'm opposed to it, going to object to it, based on the fact of the current issues that we have with TBA and looking at the possibility, well, they threaten us with litigation. Not only to mention that they have been at the utility department several times in our county department for extensive periods. One time, I believe, almost a month, where they have been in. Other times, they have just been in, as individuals for 3 days here and 3 days there. That has been going on for the last 3 years. As TBA has been looking for a reason to increase our rates, which is what I believe is happening in this moment. So they're looking for a reason to justify it, as some others are. I think that it would definitely be not in the best interest of the city of Holly Springs for that to occur. There are some limitations, even if the young lady, and I just walked up on her today and happened to meet her. I said, well, look at God. I pray all the time. And she just happened to be at the utility department. So I had an opportunity to just kind of speak with her briefly. I did ask for a card. She did not have one. But I did proceed to Google her. And it's interesting that the young man from TBA, Mr. Wilburn, he expressed, well, she used to work at MLG&W. And so that's fine, but that still does not tell us exactly what her areas of expertise or if she's even familiar with our system. And so I am quite troubled that, especially a blanket, I know, and I'm familiar with these forms, there are limitations on it. Should it be that she is authorized to come in, which I don't think she should be at all. To me, as I mentioned before, that is like letting the fox into the hen house, and I would recommend that we table this to at least get a resume, because in one of the statements that TBA made, they said that the city of Holly Springs would have to pay this individual.
That is correct.
Now, it just doesn't seem like I would be a good steward if I was signing off on a check for somebody that I don't know anything about, other than today I finally saw her face. And I have inquired before as to, resume or be able to communicate with the person, and that has not happened. But we would definitely be putting the city at risk to open this up. That's what happened the last time when we dealt with TVPPA, and we saw what happened in that moment. They went down to Public Service Commission, did not tell any of the positive things or any of the improvements that we had made. And so with that, I recommend that this matter is tabled until we have some additional information regarding this matter, and look to see how we can limit. But to just do even a blanket form, to me, it is just not in the best interest of the city. And especially in this time of litigation, where TBA has actually served us with certified mail, some of the other complaints. And TBA was the group that asked to go before the Public Service Commission when they had the hearing that we were not allowed to participate in. And so to open it up to the people who put us in the predicament, this precarious position, to me makes no sense.
I'm gonna say that, this form should have been signed a long time ago. So that the accountancy at the Holly Springs Utility Department can be transparent, can be solidified, can be verified and clear. I make the motion that we allow Central Service Association. Mr. Jones, I see that you have completed it. We were going to have lunch there next year to do. But I make the motion that we give you permission to sign this form so that they have access to our expenses, to our court, our information.
Second.
It's a move by Alderman Merriweather, second by Alderman Ship. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Alderman Fountain?
Alderman Fountain.
You still there?
Yes, ma'am, she's there, it's just not responding. It's still on.
I'm sorry, I'm just talking, yeah, I'm sorry you didn't hear.
She was on mute.
But I do agree with Alderman Merriweather as far as getting this on the road, getting it transparent. But I also agree that, believe that it is a decision that all board members need to be there and present. I know we've been talking about it for a while and we need to get it moving, but we also have 2 board members absent. And I would like to see it tabled until our next maybe budget meeting. I think is it soon, but I'm gonna, with that in mind, I would like all board members to be there to vote. Can you hear me, Jericho?
Yes, ma'am, we can.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm going to know, nay.
And moved by
Yes,
Professor,
ma'am.
second by Alderman Ship.
I'm sorry. I do agree, but I also agree that Alderman Jones and Tia needs to be aware and a part as well. Because
And I
it's a
like
big
to
decision, and I
discuss-
still don't know if this lady is charging the set amount of money that we have to pay her. Is that still on the table or has it been taken off?
The votes have been
Okay.
cast.
What was the question, Alderman Fountain? I could not hear you.
How much money will it cost?
Is her fee still on the table? Are we still liable for that mandatory fee or has it been taken off of the table?
I don't know, Mr. Jones.
It's still on the
agreed that
table.
Yes, that we would be responsible for paying her.
But I think the general manager has spoken, and I do value his input. What I thought from the initial,
So,
I do value his input.
All right, so the motion passes 2 ayes, in, Merriweather and Ship, 1 nay in Fountain. And I'd like the record to reflect that I oppose, this matter as it opens the city of Holly Springs, to liability, that is not in the best interest of the city of Holly Springs, especially with the adversarial position of TDA. And the city will have to pay for the services. Without information regarding the contract. All right. Okay.
I also would like to make a motion for the second item for the $500,000 that our honorable representative who's here tonight got for our city to cut right away. The balance is $435,000, is that correct? And you're asking the board to give you permission to file the application.
Yes.
The state of Tennessee, can you explain that the state of Tennessee, you said with the state of
Yeah,
Tennessee? Could you explain?
Yeah, I can. The state of, the Mississippi legislature agreed with the Tennessee legislature, and they passed the legislation to give the money specifically to Tennessee to cut right away in Holly Springs. So, I have all the information, that is required. This is the form that's required to be filled out. And it's going to take, it's going to probably take 4 to 6 weeks to actually get the funds because it has to go through so many steps. But again, the idea is it's difficult for me to come to the board to ask the board to put up money from the ARPA funds or to make an argument with anyone else about we need money to cut right away when we got to use the money that we have. And incidentally, that the CMM Bushhagen, we've spent that money as far as right away cutting is concerned. That's a drop. This is a drop in the bucket.
Well, I make the motion that we.
I'm listening. I'm just listening.
Oh, okay. So I'll make the motion that we give General Manager Wayne Jones the authority to file the application for the $435,000 from the state of Mississippi legislature through the state of Tennessee for cutting the right of way.
I'll second that motion.
It's the move by Alderman Merriweather, second by Alderman Ship. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes, 2 ayes, 1 aye telephonically, 2 absent, and Jones and Teal. And I'd also like to recognize that I post this item based on some of the requirements by the state of Mississippi that are not in the best interest of the city of Hollis.
Okay, now the third item is the $500,000 request from the ARPA money to cut right away.
Yes, ma'am.
How much left do we have, Madam Clerk, about with the ARPA money? I know
1.4
we're ready
million.
to do the budget, huh?
1.4 million. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Can the opera funds be used for utilities? Because I was thinking it was just for the general city.
What,
Ask the question for me. Ask them somebody to ask me.
when it was applied for, it was applied for the city of Holly Springs, and by that being a municipality-owned company, I would think that it could be used. I did read where you can use it for the public welfare, so I think that would cover that as well. But I will let Mary Gibson know, the attorney, answer that question.
When I applied for
There were for payroll, for infrastructure, for something else. I was just exactly sure we can use it for utilities or just inside of the general city. If someone can just answer to me.
What did she say?
What about?
She said she wanted to make sure before she vote that if it could be used on public utilities.
Well, tell her I had put the ARPA funds on the agenda anyway for us to look at things, so we can hold it and then look at it for the next meeting that we have. When is our next budget meeting, Ms. Jones?
The 13th.
Of August.
I just want to know if it can be used for utilities.
We asked them that at the meeting.
No, hold for me. I'm just asking the question.
They told us that they were held.
You can use the opera funds, but I think her question was, does it have to be limited to inside the actual city limits?
Yes, the general city.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I did read the servicing area. So, mhm.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm ready.
I think that they're going to just hold it and come back at the meeting on the 13th to discuss. Mayor had already put it on the agenda for allocation of the ARPA funds.
I know, but is that?
A motion?
No.
Okay.
What?
Well, I would motion that we table that is. Table that until our budget meeting on the 13th, just to make sure.
I serve at the pleasure of the mayor and board. I made my recommendation.
We'll hold this matter until then. You mentioned something about people wanting to help us. What were you referring to, Mr. Johnson?
Mayor, I am referring to conversations that I have had in the position as general manager of the Holly Springs Utility Department. Those conversations are part of my job, talking to people who cut right away, talking to TVA, talking to the Public Utilities Commission, talking to other folks in the Mississippi legislature and in Tennessee. And that's all I can say about that.
All right, next on the agenda, we have a motion to authorize approval of July 2nd, 2024.
I got something for executive session when the time comes.
July 16th, 2024, regular board meeting, and July 23rd, 2024, budget meeting minutes. Is there a motion? Is there a motion for the minutes?
I move to authorize approval of July 2nd, 2024, regular board minutes, July 16th, 2024, regular board minutes, and July 20th, July 23rd, 2024. Yes.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's a move by Alderman Schiff, second by Alderman Johnson. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Nay. Motion passes. One aye. One aye in Schiff, aye telephonically, and Johnson, one nay in Meriwether. All right, and then Alderman Johnson, you asked a question. The city utility bills and claims, they did not go forward because there was no set.
Oh, I didn't hear.
Ma'am?
I didn't hear when it was motion.
Okay, your Alderman Schiff made the motion to approve the city utility bills and claims, but there was no set. Ma'am?
I'll second the motion if he brings it back to the table, Madam Mayor. If he brings the motion back to the table to pay the, utility bills and claims, I'll second the motion. I just didn't hear it at the time. I think I texted it, I could barely hear.
Schiff, is that sure? All right, Alderman Schiff moves, Alderman Fountain seconds, all those in favor of utility bills and claims.
Aye.
One aye in Alderman Schiff, one aye telephonically in Alderman, Fountain, Alderman Meriwether. Nay. One nay in Meriwether, Alderman Meriwether, and two absent, with Jones and Chief. All right, next, also, let me get, if you'll give me just one moment.
What's going on?
The mayor has stepped to the back for a second.
Are we on recess?
Yes, ma'am. Well, just on the break. She just on the first.
Somebody's supposed to move to recess.
She just, I think she may be on the phone call.
What do we have left on the agenda? And we did the department, so we're doing anything else with the budget tonight?
Ms. Fountain,
Yeah.
I think we're,
while nobody's presiding, can y'all recess for a second?
Mayor,
To recess?
Right.
she's back.
Oh, okay, never mind. I don't want to
So,
discuss it. The mayor's back.
just, and so what, I'm going back to item number 14, dealing with sky cops. So we can look, I can give you more information on that. So for 8 sky cop, enclosures, to purchase them outright, it would be $68,800, installation, a total of $76,400. To lease them, which would help with the repairs of them. 8 sky cop enclosures to lease would be $2,102 a month. But now there would still be a one-time installation fee of $7,600. And so the total for that, for the lease would be approximately $9,702 to have that done eventually. So the 9,000, and then thereafter will be the $2,102. This is the company that we're through now, and we have some funds in tourism, and so I want us to look at as far as that. Some of them will be actually utilized in the park areas, and so we want to look at that, and it will be for the safety of anybody who's coming into and out of our community. When we talk about the entryways, like going out to Memphis, going to Oxford, or going to Benton County. And so we'd like you all to look at that, and then we'll also bring that back to be voted on at the budget meeting as well. I'm going to ask that we recess when we do, not this meeting, but the next meeting, which I believe I heard was August the 13th.
Yes, ma'am.
And so we'll recess with that in case someone needs more information. Now, if you're comfortable tonight, we definitely will entertain.
I'd like to have that information provided.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. So we'll
And I want us
do that on the 13th.
I would say, I would like to remind us that we are in budget season. And of course, I know this is the current budget from what you're speaking of in terms of tourism. And I would like for us to take that into consideration with making purchases and all of those things.
Right. Well, the only reason I'm mentioning this is because it will definitely be a tool for us to utilize for safety reasons to deter, especially as we are hearing repeatedly where there was shooting at a park. Now there's a shooting where someone was standing beside someone's bedroom window. That whatever tools we have that we can utilize to assist law enforcement. And that's one of the best. Even the county sometimes calls to see if we have cameras in certain areas. And so I hope that we will be able to get this passed, but we'll have that paperwork for you for the budget meeting on the 13th. So we can look at and make good sound judgment. I appreciate the residents who come from Greenbrier because I know that that sometimes that's a little scary to come in and talk about, talk about folks, and talk about your neighborhood, and you live close to individuals. But it is imperative that we do that. And so we'll definitely put that on there for the 13th, and we'll get some paperwork for you. So I think that's it. We went back and took, Blackman and Blackman. Alderman Hampton, did you receive a copy of the figures there? We talked about this for quite some time. Okay, regarding the retaining of the expert legal services of Blackman and Blackman LLC for protection of the Holly Springs Utility Department. And I had Ms. Jones to take a photograph, send it to you so you can see, as far as the numbers you see, they're pretty much the same as what we've discussed in executive session. So I'll entertain a motion to retain them to protect the city of Holly Springs Utility Department.
From my understanding, I could be wrong, we have emphatically been told on several occasions that the need for the retaining Blackman, we haven't even identified where they're going to be fighting. And so at this time, I'm asking once again that we table this item or take it off of the agenda. I'm not quite sure why it continues to show up on the agenda.
Well,
but I'm just talking.
I'll explain as to why.
But I'm gonna make a motion that we table this item.
And I'm going to say, I'm not sure as to what you heard or who you were listening to talk about as far as that we have been emphatically told. In fact, one of the things we were told that this thing will be down the road for years from now. But we have already seen where the Public Service Commissioner has already retained consultants to come in and do an evaluation of the Holly Springs Utility Department. I don't know how much more it takes to make sure that we protect this community, and I hope those at home will start calling around and call and let people know that you want your assets to be protected. because at this point in time, I do not understand, what the opposition is in having, adequate, legal representation to fight this. We are already in a condition, when you talk about that the public service commissioners have, held special hearings, that they have retained consultants, that we have had, senators and representatives who have, made special legislation that we know was especially for the city of Holly Springs, that all of that has happened. And so I just don't know, I feel like I'm in Genesis and Noah, whatever book it is. And Noah is still in the ark and his people outside laughing at Noah. I hope that we end up not being the people who are on the outside of the ark and lose this utility department because of whatever. I don't know what's happening. I cannot understand the rationale. I have not heard as far as emphatically. I heard Representative Faulkner talk about that this was probably going to be years away, but even probably like a month after you left, the Public Service Commissioners had already retained an expert or a consultant, I should say, to come in and evaluate this department. So this is not something that's years away. This happens to be now that we saw that, and they've actually found some additional things. So to say that it's something we don't need, I do not understand. Because it's already happened. It is already happened. This is not penny penny. You know, nobody's saying the sky is falling down, but somebody is. The Holly Springs Utility Department is at risk from outside forces, as that has already been demonstrated. Now, the reason that this came back is because that there were several board members, they're not here tonight, but they did ask me to secure it from them in writing as to what their rates would be, because they also felt the need for this. We have a duty. Our duty is to the people of Holly Springs and to our ratepayers, not to TVA, not to any associates outside of this. So that's why you asked as to why that's on there. That's why that's on there, because I was able to retain that information. Blackman & Blackman Law Firm is a law firm with a reputation of excellence, and they have dealt with utility companies before. And the city attorney has expressed that there are no concerns about their ability to represent us. And of course, as always, your city attorney will work directly with whoever's representing you. You want to make sure of that. They do have expertise in this area. So I am, again, baffled at the pushback and the desire not to have representation for such a time as this.
Well, I will say that from my understanding from PSC and the different entities, TVA included, I know that you just talked about, and I'm not going to get into the details of it, PSC talking to people, getting their input. That's what we should have been doing. That's what Holly Springs Utility Department, the Mayor and Board of Aldermen should have been doing. Then they wouldn't have had to go to PSC. At this time, there is no need. Everybody is just looking for improvements, goals, and with the Holly Springs Utility Department in terms of serving its ratepayers. I am fully confident in Mr. Wayne Jones. I am excited about what I'm hearing, about the moves and shifts that he is making with the Holly Springs Utility Department and the workers there in terms of making sure that this problem is resolved, that we are improving the services, even through the right-of-way cutting, for our ratepayers so that the services can be clear and concise and the ratepayers can be satisfied. I think, again, I don't know why the push is for us to hire Blackman & Blackman. I'm not understanding that. You know, if the problem is for us is improving the services, we've hired a general manager who is insightful and who is making, again, I'm not going to be repetitive, but some great moves to resolving our issues. And so I want to give him the opportunity. He's talking with TVA. He's talking to the state. When the time comes, if the time comes, that we need to secure legal, a legal company or lawyers or whomever, I think the board will be more than happy to move on that if and when that time comes. So that's why, you see, you didn't understand why the pushback. I don't understand. I still don't understand the push.
And I know that you don't, and you probably don't understand because in looking at it even from a legal aspect, and so that may be why you're not seeing it. Because it is there. There is liability, from a legal standpoint. We are in trouble, with TVA, with the Public Service Commissioner, as well as with TPA. They have put us through the ringer, talking to the folks, who have created the issue that we have. And if they were also concerned, as people have said, these issues happened years ago. TVA didn't come in was because back then, the boards back then would not give, would not give it over to them. I see my classmates smiling. The boards back then would not give it to them. So let's speak the truth. And so, they feel like that they have a board now.
The truth is, we need to move this.
That they feel like we have a board now who's willing to do it, and that's the truth on that. But Alderman Shep has asked that we move forward.
Yes, this is not on the agenda.
And so the next matter that we have is we have a budget meeting that was included in this meeting. Madam City Clerk said she was going to check with you, Mr. City Attorney, to see if we need to recess or if we could just follow through as it is listed on the agenda as incorporated in this meeting as a budget meeting /
The budget meetings that,
Sir?
I said, you're saying recess at the conclusion of the regular business and go into a budget session?
Right, that's what she was asking, or can we do it as a separate item as far as a budget meeting / review?
It probably is a little bit cleaner to do it by recessing the regular meeting into the next meeting and then saying, and let me ask this, has there been an announcement regarding the budget meeting for tonight? That was on
Well, we did a motion to include all of them, and this was one of the dates that was included in, that the budget meeting would be a part of the regular meeting.
as long as it was noticed.
So, and I guess if we're going to do that, then we need to go into executive session
For the regular meeting, right?
for the regular meeting before we recess to the budget meeting.
You can.
All right, is there a motion to go into closed session to determine the need for executive session?
That matter is we go executive session. Close session.
It's a move by Alderman Ship, second Alderman Merriweather. All those in favor of going into a closed session? All right, 2 ayes. Alderman Johnson?
Aye.
And 1 aye telephonically, and 2 absent in Jones and Teal. All right, we'll be in closed session. Determine the need for executive session.
What's on? Take a picture. Oh,
Yeah,
this is
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Definitely. We gotta take that brush. So, what do you think? It's changing. It's falling. Okay.
Living the dream.
Take pictures of what you're talking about.
That's what everybody's saying.
She gone? Hey, Representative. Oh. Do I need to call? Do I need to call?
The board voted to go into executive session to discuss personnel matters in the police department. We appreciate your patience. executive session, what might that matter be? We have to know so we know if it qualifies.
One that discuss if this one.
Personnel. The board voted to amend the motion, so the executive session will include personnel matters in the police department as well as in the utility department. Again, we appreciate your patience. Ms. Jones?
Sure. So, yeah, play back to Mother Michelle. Yeah.
Is that the husband?
The husband. Yeah,
Oh, so representative, is that he or he?
both here.
Both representatives? And one of them's not.
Both got out.
Yeah.
Follow the road. Now there are other reasons why you didn't know.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
We are back out in open session. I think they're just, I don't think there's much to talk about.
Just adjourn.
I think so. Or recess.
Oh, yeah, recess, I think.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. The board voted to come out of executive session. All right, and the following action occurred. All right, it was moved by Alderman Merriweather, second by Alderman Sheriff, to terminate Lieutenant Jason Stamp at the recommendation of Chief Bowen. The motion passed with 2 ayes and 1 nay, and in Alderman Fountain, and 2 absent in Jones and in Teal. And no action was taken on the other matter that was before us at this time. All right. Is there anything else to come before this board? As I mentioned, I am on the meeting at some point. And we also still have to go into our budget meeting. So, is there anything else that you all want to discuss before we recess?
I know that one of the topics on our agenda has been unfinished business in terms of the 9 items that we asked the mayor to respond to. And Attorney Perry had, was doing a memorandum. I don't know if we want to table that, or Mayor, if you're ready to respond, or the memorandum is.
I have a memorandum, but I would feel better just discussing it. That would be an executive session.
Okay.
And I haven't circulated it with everybody, because I want to circulate it with everybody at the same time. But I did the memo, just so.
Okay. So you're gonna.
I'm sorry.
So you're gonna circulate that?
I will.
All right, if there's no additional business, I'll entertain, yes, Officer Gaines.
I would like to thank you for speaking with me earlier. I would love to have a meeting with you because I don't think any of you are fully aware of what is going on within this department. So because you have made a grave, grave mistake by terminating the one man that every officer in here was here to support him. We were on his side for his support. Because he is the one person trying to do what y'all want, bring change and structure and hold people accountable. So, and knowing that you are okay, you can make that decision without speaking to him or any facts. I'm not okay with that. I really thought this town had more integrity than that. To know, but you would allow a predator to mess with 3 women in one department and not make a choice on that. I have an issue with that. So my next question is, sir, are you the city attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
May I have your card for my attorney?
I don't have a card, but your attorney can contact.
Okay.
All right, so if there is nothing further, I entertain a motion to recess. It's been removed by Alderman Shipp, second by Alderman Merriweather, to recess. All those in favor?
Aye.
2 ayes, 1 eye telephonically.
Yes, ma'am.
And 2 absent in Jones and Teal. And so next up, we'll have the budget meeting all the council. Mr. Sams, I see you standing with your hand up. You should receive something at some point and then be able to respond to that. But feel free to contact me tomorrow if you have questions as to how you might wish to proceed. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You can get my cell number from any of the officers if you don't feel happy. Thank you. All right, so we recess now. Alderman, Attorney Perry.
Yes.
The budget meeting, I am gonna seriously have to go about 15 minutes.
They recessed the regular.
You circulated from the last meeting. So I don't think that it's technically that you have to go into the great detail as far as for the budget meeting tonight if you want to recess it.
Okay, so, you're through with recess until the next meeting, if that is okay?
I think that'd be fine.
So as far as going through the budget for you, now, what do you recommend for that?
As far as the budget meeting, if
You just go over to the next,
right, just hold it over until the next meeting.
to the 13th?
To the 13th, yes, ma'am. It's already been announced that that's going to be the succession meeting.
All right, any other questions? All right, Ms. Jones, anything your eyes are doing?
There's so much going on.
Huh?
It's too much going on.
I do have one thing.
All right, well, the meeting has been recessed. So we're out of that. When I was checking, said we went into a budget. All right, then, it's.
Okay.
Recess.
Thank you, Chair.
All right now. Hey.
All day, huh? I just had a
Okay.
It's not good. There's no.
Right. I just don't. I mean,
No, it's
it's just.
That's what I'm saying.
Instead of going into some kind of detail, I think would be better. But all of those.
All those items that you talked
Can be
about.
made.
It's really can't be laid on the agenda, so we were just.
See, I did 3,
As well
5, and
as
6%.
continue on, but.
I had both of them together, and all these all were. And what we were trying to go to.
Oh, no, that's like.
Publish all that, but I think it's just like 5 copies.
That many hours.
Okay.
Sitting around there.
5 to 3,
Not
then
take,
3%.
no, can't report on anything.
6%.
On certain people.
Yeah.
Okay.
3% for the.
Let's see, lose,
And 5% here, and 6% for myself.
Okay.
12,000. Everything else is 3 and 5. 3, 5, and 6.
I get that break.
What they say about the cutting the check? What they say about cutting the check? The check.
They voted on it.
I don't say so, so I should have it done.
Yeah, we'll have it tomorrow.
I should have it done.
We'll have it cut tomorrow with those.
I'll say something.
I don't know. That's what
Huh?